Welcome in ATB show at the buzzer. We've got so many people in hair and makeup. Adam just decided to not show up tonight. Corey's in hair and makeup. Scotty's in hair and makeup. Rubber Shoes still at one of his 13 jobs. We're going to get to that in just a second. And we finally got Joe and Leslie and the entire Scafidi family to join us on the show, so we can ask the Bernie, asking for a friend, why in the hell does he get so many tickets to so many important games? And he's like the Wozniak of your company. Like Steve Wozniak was the original employee at Apple Computer. I feel like he's foundational at AAA Work Trucks. We are brought to you by AAA Work Trucks. Oh my God.
Employee number 2 or 3?
3 or 4?
3. 3. Employee number 3.
Yeah,
is he the
behind
first
Jim and Marty?
Is he the first non-blood employee? What's happening?
He's the second non-blood employee.
Joe,
first non-blood employee is Jim Burns.
Okay. Joe and Leslie, for me, tell me he's not in the will. I mean, for your kids as well, obviously. Yeah, he's not in the will, is he?
I cannot confirm or deny. I cannot confirm or deny that Bill is in the will.
Horrifying intel immediately out of the gate on the show. So we're gonna talk about everything, because you guys, I feel like it feels, at least you can't tell me how to feel. It feels on this end of the microphone like Rubber Shoes is constantly courtside, up in a suite, eating chicken flickins, steak tips, going to another company party. So it feels as if you guys have tickets to all of the events, and you should, because you work hard. The real question is, why don't you go to more? I feel like you're offsetting them to him so much. And if it feels like there's some bitterness behind this question, there's a ton of bitterness behind this question. So we just can't believe, like, we were doing something this Sunday. He's like, hey, I'm going to the Patriots game now. And I said, dare I ask? So that's like connected to the company somehow, he explained to me. But
not only that, is he's going in one of the very, very nice fancy suites.
Tell me less about this, Leslie. Like, are you guys all going? Is the whole family going?
We love Bill, so we have only 2 tickets to the Celtics game. So just usually 2 of us go.
Okay.
And we have 2 tickets to the Red Sox. So
and
then
just for clarity,
when we do the big employee events, everybody goes together.
Oh yeah, we get full knowledge. There's microfiche. We get the whole thing about the Celtics event every year up in the skybox. Like, we hear about all of this. So you guys have season tickets for the Red Sox, season tickets for the Celtics. Yes. So how is he? How's he shoehorning his way into the Patriots? How did that come to pass? You guys have Patriots season tickets too?
One of our top clients invited us.
Okay, so asking for a friend, why aren't you going? Why is he going?
So I am not going. I definitely would have been there, but we have a prior engagement.
He's really good at begging.
No.
Truth.
He has never begged, but we definitely are aware of what a big Boston sports fan he is, and he also can do things generally very last minute, which is sometimes we're a little unorganized with our tickets.
Yeah.
So that's the big part, Tim, is that I 99% of the time say yes, so they know they don't have to ask more than one person. They come to me and I'll say yes.
Yeah, you know how you
isn't that an old sports saying? The best ability is availability.
Yeah.
So Bill always makes sure he's available.
Yeah, he's like the Wally Pip of your tickets. Yeah, he's going to go in, he's going to steal it away. So let's make sure, like, obviously I've got from right to left, looking at my screen, I've got Joe, I've got Leslie. Who else in the family is with us?
This is JoJo.
Joe Jr. I love this. Yeah. Okay.
And then this is Danielle.
You're on the right, Leslie. You're on the right.
That's confusing.
What's your name?
Danielle.
Awesome. Okay. So we got to talk Red Sox because we got to get out of the way because it's horrifying. 3 games back, Rubber Shoes. Is that where we are?
Still a chance.
There's still a chance.
I told you last week we got Trevor Story back, so now
Oh God.
he's my only hope.
Joey, do you have any?
The Star Wars reference. So Joey will appreciate this, and Leslie, both Star Wars fans. And I said last week, this is my episode 4, a new hope.
A New Hope.
And
Yeah.
that Trevor Story is our only hope.
So 3 more losses and it's over.
No, I don't think that it is the magic number 3.
I feel like I read the magic number is 3.
Okay, so that would be 3
So it's
losses. 3 losses. So if it's a magic number, it would be 3 losses or 3 wins by the team ahead of us.
Or any combination.
So, Tim,
Yeah.
what I love most about Bill is his optimism in all ways.
He's always
It's a little
optimistic.
It's a little manic at times. I mean, we're doing the Red Sox right now just to get it over with, so we can get to the proverbial pun intended meat on the bone. I want to talk about college football, the Patriots, AAA work trucks, why you allow him to work for you. I've got burning questions that we need to get to. So who's in town right now? Where are the Red Sox right now? We're on the road right now.
Baltimore Orioles.
Baltimore. All right. That's good. That's going to ruin the weekend, probably. Yeah. That'll ruin the weekend.
They're 1-1, and tonight's the rubber match.
Okay. The rubber shoes match. Excellent.
Yeah.
Love how you worked that in. I see what you did there. All right. So the Red Sox are almost over. By this time next week, we're probably not talking about the Red Sox anymore. Or we can do the eulogy. Work on the eulogy over the next 6.5 days.
We could talk about the off season and what they're going to do.
No, we're not doing that.
We're not
talking about the Red Sox again until winter meetings.
Tim, even though if they don't make it past this regular season, don't you think it's been enjoyable at times watching them this season?
So I've become a Red Sox snob, and let me explain. I can't watch them unless they're home, first and foremost. I'd love to go to a game, but Joe and Leslie never invite me. But we'll talk about that some other time. So I can't bear to put on the Red Sox. First of all, West Coast trip is so annoying. Like when the game starts at 10:15, I'm not staying up for that. And the brand of baseball right now is not worth staying up for a 10:15 West Coast game. And I find so many of the other ballparks, and some of them are stadiums, but most of them are ballparks because most have rebuilt. But just like when you put on, and it happened this past week, right? Weren't we at the White Sox?
Yes.
Yeah, and
5 people showed up to watch.
Yeah, you put on the Red Sox, and they're playing in the south side of Chicago. That ballpark's just ugly to look at. I mean, and Billy knows this. I think the worst ballpark, not even a ballpark, the Garage down in Tampa, that is unwatchable. Like the extra rules that come into play, like if it hits off the C ring, it's a walk, or like it's.
Yeah.
I don't think
ground
they're that
will double if
enjoyable
it
right
hits this far. It's like the rules you made playing t-ball when you were a kid.
Yes.
No, if it hits off the windshield of that car, we're going to call it a single. And
If it gets knocked down by the wire, it's a do-over. Yeah, it's.
and if it goes into Mr. Wynock's yard, we have to run because he's going to come out and steal the ball.
Leslie, I think the only person that appreciates the Red Sox as equally as Rubber Shoes does, I believe, would be my mom. So my mom, and this is, Rubber Shoes loves this. She will watch the game. She's also recording the game. And my mom's of a certain age, so she says she's taping it, we'll talk about that at some other point. She records the game. Then she may watch the same game even if they lost later.
So I have to add Joe to your list.
Oh, for the Celtics, not the Red Sox. I won't watch the Red Sox twice, but I'll watch the Celtics game again.
No, but you enjoy, my point is you do enjoy watching the game of baseball, even when the Red Sox are in this rebuilding period. You still do enjoy watching them.
Because I'm a baseball fan, but I'm a frustrated Red Sox fan.
Yes.
So
Bill and I have had this conversation. If you count the players the Red Sox have dismissed since the Mookie Betts ordeal, the names of those players and the stats they have put up over the last 5 years, we'd be in World Series contention every season.
Right. Just a matter of money. Yep.
Yes.
It's all about the money.
Yep. So why do you think they're not spending? As a season ticket holder, why are they not spending money?
Maybe the family has like a big event coming up that they need, $100 million for.
Have you met John Henry? He doesn't have any big events coming up.
He has one.
Maybe
He has one left in his life.
Purchasing another big asset.
I think he's sucking every dollar out of the business to buy other. I mean, look, the Penguins, the soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
He'll purchase something else soon.
Hopefully not the Celtics.
Yeah, hopefully not the Celtics.
Do you think? Well, but again, and I know, and like I believe you because like they're probably not remarkably honest with their books, but where all of the things under the Fenway Sports Group are separate entities. I feel like it's less that he's spending the Red Sox money on other things, and they just feel like they've built, because I'll give them credit, pains me to say this, they've done such a remarkable job with Fenway, not that I've been this year because I wasn't invited by Joe and Leslie, but like when you go to Fenway, it's beautiful, right? And they've created like such an experience that they can sort of get away with. It doesn't matter what the product on the field is anymore because people coming in from Cleveland are like, we're here. We're going to go see the Freedom Trail. We're going to go get some chowder and we got to go to Fenway. Even if it's closed, we're going to go for a tour, right? They're capitalizing on the fact that they have that.
It's a touristic attraction.
Yeah. And I think they're getting away with that, which is fascinating. All right. So the Red Sox may have 3 more heartbeats left, but it's almost over. It's almost over. I do enjoy it, Leslie. I can't get excited about us not doing stuff at the trade deadline, us not doing stuff over the winter. I don't feel like they're investing in the team. I'm the angriest guy on the show. I mean, yeah, I guess we haven't really gone over that.
I feel like we're Boston fans through and through, and we'll work through these hard seasons sometimes.
Well, I'm also a Boston College fan, so I understand hard seasons. Yeah, I understand hard seasons.
Everyone except for Danielle and JoJo, we've been through the bad times, and for every team around here. So,
yes,
I think
they're the ones that should be angry. They're the ones that should be angry, right? Because this is all they know.
Yep.
Or it was all they knew.
My boys are 19 and 18, and they started to get confused when a season would end and there wasn't a parade, because it was just like Santa Claus comes, Easter Bunny comes, duck boats happen. Like it's a quarterly event. I do have to pick a bone with you. I think, Leslie, you brought it up. You talked about the fact that he's such a fervent Boston fan. Did he not explain during the interview process that he's also been a Lakers fan? Like if you went to the studios in Lowell and went through his closet and all of the gear.
Canadian, the Canadians fan.
Canadian.
Wait, I'll give him Canadians. Because anytime I get, like, if I start talking to somebody and they're like, oh, I'm a Yankees fan, as soon as they say, I used to watch it with my dad or with my grandfather, like, as soon as that familial tie is there, I'm not going to fight with you. He can't explain away being a Lakers fan in the late 80s. You can't. You can't. Like, the fact that we're still friends is, like, fascinating to me. But
Now I have to say that we did not know about the Lakers.
Oh, I love all of this. Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
Oh.
So I became a hardcore Celtics fan in '93 when I was in the military, and when they were starting to decline.
Yeah. Okay, bring the owners of AAA work trucks up to speed. So while Larry Bird was doing everything he was doing, who are you cheering for, Billy? Go ahead, speak up. Lean into the microphone.
So
go ahead.
Yes. I had a problem back in the 80s rooting for a predominantly white basketball team.
Oh my Lord!
That's the main. I don't know.
Well, that's discriminatory.
It's about results.
It was reverse discrimination. Yes, it was 100%. And I just couldn't. I don't know. I had a problem back then.
As a young black male in Lowell, he was confused and he couldn't understand. Dude, honest to God, the fact that you were like waving your fist at the TV screen during the 80s, missing out on all the Celtics because you were in love with Magic and the crew, right? Who was your favorite player?
Well, the Lakers won 5 championships, and the Bird during the Johnson era and the Bird era, they only won 3. So
Timmy, he was a big Lakers fan, but Mitch Kupchak was his favorite player.
Kurt Rambis. Kurt Rambis definitely was the
Kurt
glasses.
Rambis.
Holy Moses.
No,
I love that
no.
you guys didn't know about that. I feel better. I feel better now.
I did not
This is
know.
good. I expect that's we might want to put him into
It's a past we don't like to talk about, but they like to talk about it all the time.
That'll be Bill's first ding.
Yeah, I love that. I think listen, I'm going to swing over there later this week. We're going to put together a performance improvement plan. Yeah, let's add it to his PIP. Let's do that. I think we have some stuff to work on for sure. All right. So, we talking about your college football team? It's such a good week for me. It really is a good week for me.
Do you guys follow any college football? Any teams? No. Yeah, my team took a big hit this weekend. I follow Notre Dame, and they lost to Northern Illinois University this weekend, and they went from 5th ranked down to 18th this week. So they need to run the table to have a chance to be in the national championship playoff come the end of the season. But Timmy's team is doing very well.
Before we move on, I'm going to completely disagree with you, Rubber Shoes. You know, and I'm not. This is not crazy. If you guys follow college football at all, when it gets to the end, there's been a 14 playoff. It's a 12-team playoff now. I think the platinum horseshoe that has wedged up the Irish's butt is probably big enough that you guys could have 2 losses and still make it into the 12-team playoff. Oh, come on. They'll find a way. They'll find a way to let your team in. They're like the
that would
Lakers
mean
of college football.
A lot of other teams would have to have 2 losses also.
I disagree. If you have a second loss, you'll still be in the playoff. Somebody write that down. Put that on its performance plan. Yeah,
I'm hoping that it doesn't come to that. So,
agreed. So, who do you guys have this weekend?
Purdue
at home.
I think they're in Purdue or still in Indiana.
In Boiler Country. Okay. All right.
Does Stephanie participate?
What's that?
Stephanie hates college sports.
Oh.
But she is going to. She humors me we are going to a Notre Dame game in October down. They're playing Navy at MetLife Stadium in New York, and she is going with it. And she bought a Notre Dame shirt to wear to the game. So she humors me with that, but yeah, she
very supportive of her.
Yes, she could care less about any college sports.
I'm glad we got to Steph because I think the decision, we have so much to talk about. We might have to do 3 hours tonight. So the fact that you decided to have Rubber Shoes be the face of AAA Work Trucks, the TV commercial is chef's kiss. The disappointment on Stephanie's face in the driveway while he's dropping everything. Like, I've known them for years, and I'm like, that's just every day. That's her rolling over in the morning and being like, oh, he's still here.
Like, I was playing pool with somebody. Who also knows Bill and Stephanie, and that was the first thing that they said to me this past Monday was that commercial depicts exactly who Stephanie and Bill are.
That's exactly who they are. Absolutely. I was also going to mention the fact that he's plastered all over the side of the vehicle. Danielle and JoJo aren't going to get this. It's almost like you said, give us blue collar, give us village people, give us rubber shoes. There's a lot going on. I mean, we probably couldn't do all of that now because it would be cultural appropriation, but I would love to see him in a headdress with his shirt off. Maybe for Halloween. Who knows?
That's in the calendars.
I had to ask Bill. I had to ask Bill if we could. We just got a new demo, and I had to ask Bill if it was okay to put that same image on the new demo because he's like slimmed down since the first version.
I think we go topless rubber shoes, tool belt, maybe some questionable length on the shorts, right? Yeah. Get it working. You'll draw in a whole different demographic, you know? Yeah. A lot of people
Finally
need to
get some
swing
more
by and
women.
check on their plumbing. It'd be great. They'll get very confused though. They'll be like, what is happening? So I do want to ask you guys if you're willing to give us the story, because we've talked about you so much when you're not here, usually complaining that you give too many tickets to Rubber Shoes. Like, get us to the point where you guys have the business that you have. Like, where did, and you can cliff note as much as you want. Get me from you guys, like, when did you guys meet? Like, how did Joe and Leslie find each other? And like, when do you decide we're going to build this company?
That's a good story.
Yeah, give it to
Oh
us.
my gosh, that's a little embarrassing. But Joey and I lived across the street from one another.
What town did you grow up in?
Waltham.
Love this. Perfect. Okay.
So getting American Automotive from its inception in 2000 to now has just been attributed to hiring a great group of people.
And you're obviously saying that Rubber Shoes is one of those people.
Employee number 3, and he's still here.
Number 3, it's unbelievable. Yeah. So does everyone? So JoJo and Danielle, you both work. You guys after school full time, or is everybody done with school? Where is everybody in school right now? What's happening?
Yeah, we're all done with school, out of college, and we came back and decided to take on the family business, learn the trade.
I love that JoJo's there, Joe, because I can see what you looked like when you had a hairline. Yeah, you looked great. You looked great a few years ago.
Yeah, no idea.
Spitting image. I can only say that. See, I have all the gray, but I still have it. So yes, it's the difference between the Irish culture and the Italian culture. Yours might be darker, but I have more upstairs. So there it is. All right. So you guys, you're living across the street from each other. Like, when do you start dating? When does that happen? And you got to keep it clean. The kids are here.
I was well out of college, and Leslie was off to college.
Okay.
We'll put it that way, when we started dating. And then we got married when she got out of college.
And what were you pursuing in school? What were you both doing for majors?
Joey got his degree in mechanical engineering, and I got my degree in business management.
Marriage made in heaven. Perfect. So do you run the office? Are you in charge of the whole shebang, Leslie? Or like, are you director of operations and all that stuff?
Actually, Danielle is more of our operational newbie manager.
Okay.
She came on officially in January. I am officially vice president, and Joey is president, but does little to nothing.
What's the word they use? In absentia?
He's apparently in charge of disseminating the tickets. Yeah, so I feel like my hairline comment probably put me way on the back of the line.
It takes a lot of my day.
There's a lot of tickets to get the bill.
Very busy.
So just to set it straight, so there's under this roof there are 2 businesses. So JoJo and Joey run the bow tie shop, which is they restore Corvettes and other old vehicles. That's what they do.
Okay. Very cool.
So
Yeah,
they're a team, and we're a team.
Okay.
Yep.
So creating some family competition, which business is more successful?
We like to measure success by heart.
What, JoJo?
Success is all in the heart.
We like to measure success by the waiting list.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how long the backlog is.
So
revenue wise, AAA is 10 times what the bow tie shop is.
Only
Sure.
10? I'm thinking in the
Less than 10
Yeah.
times.
So Joe and JoJo, would the average client at the bow tie shop, is he like midlife crisis, got his hands on a vet, and now he wants you to doll it up? Like, who's your average client at your
Yeah,
firm?
it's high end collectors.
Okay.
I'll just say 50 and over.
It's starting
so
to
I
come
don't.
down.
Yeah,
It's starting to come down.
yeah. 50 and over.
That's good. That's not good. That means all the guys are having earlier midlife crisis.
So they did have a younger customer who moved to the West Coast. Mookie Betts was a customer at the bow tie shop.
Mookie.
Yeah.
I love Mookie.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he actually came in. He was so disgusted by his meeting with Bill that he just packed up and left. So.
There it is. Crime solved. He saw the side of the truck. He's like, "That's gross. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here."
Yeah, we had the shirt go up at first, and he saw that, and he just booked it. So we had to actually take that down and put the normal bill up.
He found out he was a Mets fan in '86, and he's like, "Oh gosh, oh boy."
I'll tell you, he was quite the nice person. Really down to earth.
Extremely.
Really friendly.
Yeah, and somehow John Henry drove him off. I can't imagine. Yeah.
We were pretty sad to see him go.
Yeah.
Not for business, but because he was just a nice guy.
Yeah.
All my baseball friends told me that we should just offer him free service on his Corvette if he stayed. I was like, I don't think that's enough money.
Yeah.
Probably not enough.
So I've been here long enough that when I started, AAA and the bow tie shop were working out of the same shop. Part of the building was being leased to another company. Then they kicked that company out. We took that bay over, and then they did an expansion, and now half of the building is bow tie and the other half is AAA. They've both grown pretty much the same way over the years that we had to build a whole new huge. That's where our offices are now, upstairs of the big shop that's downstairs.
Yep, and now we can do fun things like sponsor podcasts.
I was gonna say he opened up very quickly with, "I've been here long enough." He's just really trying to ingratiate himself again because he wants you to forget that he was a Lakers fan in the '80s. Don't somebody write that down. I love that you guys now know that he was a Lakers fan in the '80s.
I will say that Bill would have to really screw up big time for me to have any kind of issue with Bill.
He's
I think having my wife come here and my son come here to work, I think that's made up for the Laker thing.
Yeah, you've got the whole tribe there now. So
yes.
Oh my God, I have the best photo of them having lunch together in the lunchroom. So great.
Yeah, what you need to get a photo of, Tyler occasionally will jump on the podcast, and he will grab, like, I have a huge Evian bottle, and I'm Irish and I'm 5'9", so obviously it's going to look massive in my hand. Tyler, what was this, 18 months ago, Rubber Shoes? Tyler was on the podcast, and he's holding this can, and I said, "Dude, is that like a tiny can of Pepsi?" It was it was a real 12-ounce can of Pepsi,
I know.
and it looked like a thimble in his hand.
So does he have?
Looks like one of those 8-ounce little mini two sippers.
Yeah.
So do you have to like put two boxes on top of one another to fit him?
No, he fits. We just have him. We have to pan out. That's all. We just have to have him back up. Yes.
Back up.
Yeah, we just need him to back up enough. We need him to back up enough. With a family business, Joe and Leslie, how often do you guys get away? And when you do get away, where do you go? Like, what's the next family vacation? Or is that unheard of?
So, in the beginning, it was more challenging, but we just, especially in our prior business, we would utilize business trips and make them business/vacation. And we do a little bit of that today because Joe has to travel all over for his Corvette enthusiastic embrace of restoring Corvettes. He loves to travel all over the country and judge cars and really enjoy the cars that get brought out to be judged. And so we go everywhere. And so we kind of make those our vacations. we have a great group of people working here, and so yes, we are able to get away on normal vacations. Everybody really helps one another when we're out of the office, so I feel completely at ease not being here.
Do you guys still do you guys still live in Waltham?
No, we live in Stowe.
Stowe, all right. That's a hike.
Actually,
It's not that bad. It's 16 miles from here.
all along
It's
62.
back roads, but it's 16
Oh,
miles.
okay. All right. What town do you? Well, hold on. Where's the shop? I'm so confused.
Billerica.
Billerica. All right. Oh, it's not that far away. All
We
right.
we're on the corner of Billerica. We're on the Bedford Burlington corner of Billerica, so we just take 62 all the way home.
So when you guys answer carefully, I know you know the answer. When you guys have been in Boston for an event and you're driving, you're heading home, what's your favorite restaurant in the Boston area?
I do like Davio's.
Okay. That's a massively commercial answer. I figured you guys would have
I
some
know,
little place
because
that nobody knows about.
I just think, I think we love all of the restaurants in the North End.
Yeah, there's
We've
a
been-
couple little tucked away Italian places in the North End we like to go to. We try to stay close to the garden so we can park right there and then quick in, quick out, and because it's a 40 to 45-minute ride home, and we probably see 60 to 70% of the home games, and then every playoff game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like Alcove, which is right there, walking distance.
Yep. You ever been to Lucia's?
Oh yes, that's
Yeah,
where we went.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great spot. That's a really good spot.
Yeah.
Out of the three bakeries, I love that I can ask you guys and you guys can speak from. Out of the three bakeries, which one's your favorite?
Mike's.
Really?
I could go for a cannoli from Modern.
Modern. Joey likes Modern. I
Yeah.
like Mike's.
Nobody said it
Also,
yet. You guys don't like Bova? I think
go to
Bova's the
garden now.
best.
They have Mike's in the garden.
Yeah, but you're making my point. Like Mike's is like, I don't know. It's
the touristy spot. But
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Mike's. I love Mike's.
oh, nothing
I
against
love
Mike's
their,
or Modern,
I
but
love their pistachio macaroons.
have you guys don't go to Bova? Really? All right. Recommendation. That's all. Just throwing that out.
We'll try it.
So what's the next game
You
you guys
know-
are going to? You gonna get to the Red Sox before the season's over?
We have one more Red Sox game sometime this month, but we're waiting on opening day for the Celtics. Oh, Leslie will go to a Patriots game.
Friday the 20th.
We're going on the 20th, next Friday.
Oh, what, the Red Sox next Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. What Patriots game are you gonna go to?
I'm going to, right now so far, December 29th, I think, is what on my schedule. But I have my pool teammates own many tickets, and I often buy a whole bunch to be able to give to customers. And so I usually go to a couple of games, or at least two, sometimes three.
So it's not too late because we just got started. So I want predictions from the whole family on what the Patriots are going to finish with for a record. Because we did our predictions last week. Rubber Shoes, what did you say? I think I went 5-12.
Yeah, I said 4-13.
You were 4-13.
Did you say 5
All
and
right.
12?
I went 5-12.
Bill?
Wow.
Bill?
Oh yeah, you guys would love Scotty. Scotty's barking right up your tree. I think Scotty had us going 17-0.
15-2. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're gonna rename the Super Bowl trophy after Gerard Mayo. Yeah, Scotty's out of his mind.
Is dad an option?
How about
Printing.
Printing.
how about 8 and 9?
All right, Joe says 8 and 9.
What?
Jojo, what do you got?
Not better than 500.
Really? How do you guys decide this in one game performance?
The defense did look good. if you want to go back to old school football and defense wins,
Yeah, they're not going to be able to win many games not scoring over 20 points.
And
Well, how
you
come
also
you're
have to ask
assuming they're
yourself.
not going to score over 20 points?
Because I saw the offense this past weekend.
On one day?
Yeah, they're going to
Yeah,
figure out
I don't.
Ramonde's running the ball. Yeah.
There's not much room for growth unless they put Drake May in. Like Jacoby Brissett is what he is. He's not gonna air it out, and if it gets into a shootout against any of these teams, I don't see them being able to hang with them. So it's gonna be run the ball, and hopefully your defense wins and you score. You keep them under 14, and you can score more than 14.
But isn't that the plan, to get May in there? They just didn't think he was ready to begin the season.
Well, I think it's because they don't want to get him hurt because the line's terrible.
Oh.
So even if under that pretense, if Jacoby turns out to be horrible or gets dinged up again, then they should go to Milton. Should be the next person they put it. They won't. They'll go to Drake May because they'll burn the place down if they don't put him in next. But if they're truly trying to protect him, if that's the reason they're not starting him now is because they don't trust the offensive line, I don't know. I don't know what we're waiting for. I don't think there's a perfect moment to start fixing the Patriots. We've been under construction for a handful of years. So it'll be interesting. All right, so Dad says 8-9. Leslie, what do you got? You going 17-0?
I think he will be 500.
Oh, they can't. There's
17
games.
17 games. So what do you got? 9 and 8?
Okay, 9 and 8. Yes, 9 and 8.
Okay,
You think
JoJo.
8-9?
JoJo, what do you say?
6 games.
I was going to say 6.
They both say 6.
I think 6
6
is
wins.
optimistic yet realistic.
6 and 11. Okay.
Yeah, I think 6 is optimistic. I think 6 is
Maybe
optimistic.
optimistic. We shall see.
Yeah, you missed it. Uncle Duke's Scotty had a whole whiteboard, and he had theories for every game and why. And he predicted that we'd beat the Bengals. So he's doing all right. He's pretty close right now.
He's the only one that got the first week right.
If Leslie, if you could only go to one more Boston sporting event, what would it be? And it was going to be your last event.
Celtics, for sure.
Celtics. Okay.
Yeah, they're hardcore Celtics, definitely.
Joe, what about you?
Oh, he's the same.
Oh, same thing. Yeah,
Celtics, all right.
opening night or championship game.
No question.
Okay. And all four of you Celtics.
Yes.
No wonder you go so
I'm
many
the
Red Sox games,
I'm
dude.
the only one that loves to go to games.
Yeah,
These guys
the
do not-
Celtics tickets are hard to get, Timmy.
It's annoying because they keep wanting to go, apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Don't you think that the Celtics that they're playing really exciting ball comparing to all of our other teams right now? I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well,
By far.
I mean, it's hard to argue with you on that because they just won a championship, and they're the only one that's actually investing in the team. I would argue the Bruins are second place in that conversation, which is amazing when you think about how much everybody hates the ownership of the Bruins. But
Which
they
is a
are
big
doing
change of philosophy for the Bruins too.
Yeah. So they've been fun to watch. Yeah, I think they probably have the best experience right now to go do that. I think for me, a little bit of it is scarred by the fact that the what just happened with Tatum and the Olympics and all that kind of stuff was a little bit weird. But outside of that, yeah, like I have to remind myself, like you watch an interview or somebody's talking about, like, yeah, we just won the world championship, and you sort of forget because everything else going on in the world. But so who do you think is going to win the next title out of all four teams? Who wins the next title? Next team on the Duck Boats.
Celtics.
Oh, Celtics. Oh yeah,
Celtics.
This could be a repeat.
Oh, there it
Everybody's
is.
back, and they're mad. They're back and they're mad.
Yep. They pissed Brown and Tatum off, so they got a
Tatum's
chip on their shoulder.
so disrespected, and Brown is
Also, this is
Sorry,
you know,
not getting
Brown.
Olympics.
How can you take the MVP of the finals and say, yeah, we don't want you.
We don't want you.
That's what they did. It is amazing.
Right.
No, you have a great point. I get concerned about. I'm always going to be negative because I just assume the shoe's going to drop. It could be an injury, it could be something. I don't think they'll repeat. Only for the fact that I just think it's such a tough thing to do. Everybody's going to not that they weren't circled on everybody's calendar before, but I think now even more so. You know,
Yeah, but we have Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah. So when the season was over. When the season was over and Tatum was going to the Olympics, I thought it would be very hard for them to repeat because Tatum was playing extra long and White and Holiday. They were all playing, and now what they did to Tatum, I think they have a really good chance of repeat, unless injuries definitely can change that, but especially you get Porzingis back in the second half of the season, rested. I think that come playoff time, they'll be ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Adam, if you were here, would agree with you. Corey might agree with you, and Scotty thinks the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl, so he'd probably agree as well. So I guess I'm the lone read on that conversation. I don't think we're going to repeat.
But I'd love to see the Bruins win.
Oh God, so close. Like just we got to get that figured out because
all that stuff with Swayman is driving me nuts.
Yeah, are we getting that done? What are we doing? We're going to light that on fire if we're not careful.
Yeah.
Were they off 4 years, 24 million?
I think 6. I think they're offering him $6 million a year. But the problem is they handcuffed themselves by getting rid of Ullmark. So now Swayman has
they traded their other goalie.
Yeah, so they should have signed Swayman first and then traded Ullmark.
Yeah.
Now he holds all the leverage because he knows there's nobody good behind him right now.
Yeah, I'd be fascinated if they don't just get that done and pay him more than 6.
But he's also he's not being very reasonable. He's shooting for the moon. He's asking for like $12 million a year, and that would be the highest, like one of the highest players in the league.
Yeah.
Hopefully they find a middle road, maybe $8 million. The Bruins' problem is they don't want to give him more than their highest player right now, which is McAvoy.
Yeah. Be interesting. Joe and Leslie and the whole family, of all the events that you've been to, and this could be something you weren't even at. We were talking about, we did our Boston Mount Rushmore. So in the same vein, but a little bit different. Of all the stuff that you've been to, all the games you guys have gone to, because you've been to more than most, what's the game that you were at that, because everybody in Boston, I think probably one of the most infamous stories is the night that Roger Clemens struck out 20 Seattle Mariners. Everybody claims they were there, but when you watch the microfiche of that game, nobody was there because they were ironically down the street at the Garden because the Celtics were in the playoffs that night, and it was late September. Nobody was at Fenway that night. But if you ask most people our age, they're like, "Oh, I was definitely, I was on my 4th hot dog." Shut up, Jimmy. You weren't there. Nobody was there. So for you, what was the game that you were at that you love to remember? Like when people talk about the game, you're like, "I was there." For me, historically, for me, it would be the Snow Bowl. I still had my waiting list tickets and we were still in Foxborough Stadium, which was the nicest high school stadium in America at the time. So Snow Bowl for me is like holy crap, I can't believe I was at that game. So what is it for you?
Oh, I have can I give you a list? I have so many.
We're here for it.
Leslie and I were at the game against Detroit where Bird stole the ball, passed it to DJ for the win. We were there. But so many games. I was there for the clinching game 2008. I was there for the clinching game 84, 86. All those games, Celtics games, I was there. The first Red Sox World Series, a buddy of mine who we were a client of theirs, his boss said, "I'm going to give you tickets to Game 4." I'm going to give you tickets to game 4, but you have to bring a client. So we were buddies. We were playing softball together. He called me up. He goes, well, I have to take a client, and you are a client. So you want to go to the World Series? And
Yeah.
I was there for the first Red Sox World Series clinch
Because that game 4, because we
in
swept.
anybody's lifetime.
Oh
You
my
went to
God.
St. Louis, to the game in St. Louis?
Oh, no, for game 2. Sorry, game 2.
Game 2.
Oh,
okay.
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 Yeah, he remembers all.
That is impressive, Bill.
But that game, so many games. My dad, when I was a kid, took me to the Red Sox game where Carlton Fisk hit that home run,
Wow.
Shut.
right? So many. Too many.
So I don't have that many. I only have the only memorable was seeing Paul Pierce.
My dad got Celtics
That was my
tickets, 6 Celtics season tickets in 1979. So I very rarely missed a Bird game. He had, this isn't so great, but in the Jim Plunkett years, we had Patriots tickets.
Yeah.
In the, sitting
Somebody
on
had to.
the
Somebody had to have
frozen
them.
aluminum seats in Foxborough. Schaefer Stadium, right? Schaefer Stadium.
Schaefer, yeah.
And then he had friends that could get him Red Sox tickets. So we saw some great Red Sox games. I saw even though I didn't want to see every home Patriots game, I was at every home Patriots game because he had 6 tickets to the Patriots, and who else would want to go?
Aw.
I was at school in
I would've
Boston
went.
in the early 90s, and they would walk around campus handing out Patriots tickets.
Oh yeah,
And people are just like, no, I got homework. Like nobody was going. And ironically, my
tell
dad
Leslie
was at
this all the
school in
time.
Boston in the early 60s, and they were walking around campus trying to hand out Celtics tickets, and nobody cared. Because it was Bob Cousy. They won by 1,000 points every night. Like, the Celtics were just rolling. My dad's like, nobody wanted to go to the games because it was just boring. You just waited for the championship. It's unbelievable. So, Joe, the Celtic seats you have now, are those the family seats your dad got way back when?
Oh no! So when they built the new garden, we were still in the balcony in row 4, and we got moved to the new balcony row. I don't remember what row, but we did get moved to the first row for some reason. But Leslie's uncle had floor tickets in the old garden, and he had vision issues, so he had seats on the floor. And when they built the new garden, they moved him to like row 15 in the corner. And he was a math professor at a Trinity College, and he wrote a letter to the Celtics office stating that he had floor seats and he needs floor seats because he has vision issues. So why am I in row 15? And their answer to him was, in the transformation from the old garden to the new garden, that's where your seats equate to.
They just dropped you. Yeah. Yeah.
I am a professor of math, and there's no equation I can come up with that would take row 1
And move me
and
further
make
away.
it row 15.
Right.
Yeah.
And they basically told him, there's nothing we can do. Those are your new seats.
Wow.
So he, at the time, years ago, you could not transfer a Celtics ticket. Then Rick Pitino took over, and you couldn't give away a Celtics ticket.
The glory years.
So
Joe Scafidi's not walking through that door. Kevin McHale's not walking through that door.
They changed their policy, and you could now transfer your season tickets to a family member. And because we were family, he transferred those seats, and we've got them moved through the years to where we are now.
Unreal.
And we had 4, and now we have 2. That's also
Yeah.
had 4. We had 4 between us and Joe's uncle, and now we have 2 tickets.
So for the kids, you guys have been to a lot of games. What's the game that you were at that you're glad you were at?
It's tricky because my dad likes to go to all those big games that he just got the list. So having 2 tickets. He goes with his uncle to those big games. So I get to go to playoff games every once in a while, but
He does
the
it out of
early-
love. He doesn't want you to have to sit in traffic. You know that, right? He does it because he loves
It's
you. Yeah.
long late drive home.
So we actually talked about getting 4 tickets again, but because now they've won, that's quite challenging.
Oh yeah.
Well, you need
Yeah.
7 because now you got Tyler and Steph and Rubbish. So, yeah, really, if you're gonna get a family pack, you're gonna get 7. I'm just,
Yeah.
thinking out
So
loud.
Tim,
Yeah.
I want to chime in to my one game that I glad I was at. Well, we never made it into the game, but it was that Miami BC game when BC beat them. We never made it inside the stadium that night, but I remember that forever.
So Rubber Shoes comes down to hang at school, and we're hosting Miami. It's a Saturday night, 7:30 game. Miami's coming in like ranked what, 1 or 2? Something
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yep.
Something ridiculous. People kept handing us cups full of this liquid, and we kept drinking it. And yeah, you know the story. We never make our way into the game because we're just bombed. Didn't you crash at Kristen's, and then you had to get home like the next day?
Yeah, and it was before cell phones so I wasn't able to let my parents know that I wasn't making it home that night.
Yeah, and this is before they built the fish house at BC, so now there's the indoor, football plex right behind Alumni Stadium on Shea Field. But before that, it was just behind the parking garage. It was just all grass. It was Shea Field. It was all like season ticket holder tailgate parking, and that whole hill was all mud, and there were guys stripped down to their delegates, and they're just sliding down this mud hill. It was a mess. It was a mess. It's a good night.
Big win.
It was a big one. It was a very big one. All right. Well, we're gonna let you guys close up shop. It's 5:57. We kept you afterwards. We kept you after.
Yeah.
Appreciate you hanging out. We got the anthology of the Scafidi family on the cam. Appreciate everything you do for us and for the show. AAA Work Trucks. If you see the vehicle in the wild and you're wondering who is that beautiful, muscular man on the side, it's Rubber Shoes. It pains me to say it out loud. I think we need to get the rest of the family up there. I mean, obviously appropriately dressed. But
and
why isn't there a
Tyler, let's get
Scafidi van?
everybody.
Just do a Scafidi van,
Absolutely.
right?
We need a Scafidi.
Yeah. You
I
got
like to be behind the scenes. I don't really like to be out front and center, as Bill can attest.
Well, you could do one in homage to everyone who's working behind the scenes and just wrap it with you guys all at your desks kicking ass, right? You're giving him all the credit. You think the only reason the company's open is because he's marching around in a hard hat, which he doesn't wear. When has he ever worn a hard hat? Ever?
Hey,
the commercial was just on. I've got TV on in my office right now. The commercial was just on. I'm like, why is he wearing a hard hat? I mean, I think I know why he has a helmet on, but
my hard hat from when I used to install fire sprinklers, and then actually today I wore one when I was on my fire detail. I had to be on a construction site, so I had to wear a hard hat today.
Well, so no, all right. I digress. I guess I understand because he's pretending to be one of your clients working in the truck after you've outfitted it. Yes. Yeah. So
we didn't need to hire an actor. We have Bill.
Yeah. Still waiting for his Oscar.
And now Stephanie and Tyler.
Yes, thank God.
Maybe
Thank God for Stephanie, right? Thank God for Stephanie.
Commercial.
Yeah, what do you have Tyler doing? Is he lifting the trucks up and just moving them around? Does he just so nobody has to deal? If any work on the undercarriage, you just have him pick it up. What are we doing with him?
We're actually able to retire one fork truck.
Yeah.
Sure, I don't doubt it. Or accounts payable. If somebody's a little behind on their payments, got a couple of 30-day nets out there. You just have him go knock on the door, right? How you doing? I'm with the Scafidi family. We're looking for our money. It's like that scene from Goodfellas, but the restaurant burnt down. You pay me, right? Great scene. It's a great scene.
Yeah.
Joe and Leslie, thank you so much for hanging out. Jojo, hold on to that hair, brother. It's not look to your left. It's not going to be long. I mean, it goes quickly, gradually, then suddenly. And Danielle,
He might have his
thanks for hanging
mom's
out.
genes.
What's that?
He might have his mom's genes.
Well, they do claim the hairline is maternal, so Godspeed. Godspeed. All right, for the Scafidi family, the owners and proprietors of AAA Work Trucks who unfortunately have to tolerate putting their name on our show every week. We appreciate you guys hanging out. For Scotty and Corey and Adam, who never made it out of hair and makeup. For Rubber Shoes, live from AAA Work Trucks. Does he get overtime for this? This will kill me if he got overtime for this. He's off the clock, right? Of course he does. Oh, for the love of God. Leslie, you and I have to have a meeting. We have a meeting. I think there's more stuff about him you should know. The Lakers, and we're just scratching the surface with the Lakers. So much more, so much more. Thanks for hanging out. We'd love for you guys to subscribe and share and comment and like and all that good stuff. It is AAA Work Trucks, our dear friends hanging out with us this week. It's atbshow.com. We'll see you next week. Take care.